Hey, I just want to do an overview of all my plants. They're all tucked away for winter here in Zone 6, but we've got the plant lights on and they're still growing strong. So we're going to start with this giant thing. It's my Barbados Cherry, also known as acerola, and it's grown humongous. I bought it when it was down here, and now it's just massive. And the thing is, I cut it back by half last year, and it still just blew up and with branches and things. It didn't fruit for me, however, and I think that's because I pruned it so hard that it just put all its energy to growing branches, as you can see. So I'm going to do a lot less pruning this year and hope for more flowers and fruits. Next door, we've got my my Pitanguthuba. It's also known as Eugenias, and it's a phenomenal plant. It's probably one of my favorites just because it's really ornamental. It's got this beautiful bark, and the leaves are dark and glossy, and the flowers smell wonderful, and the fruit smells awesome and tastes wonderful. So it's just an awesome plant to have. Down here we've got my Ponderosa Lemon. It's a hybrid lemon, and the lemons are supposed to grow massive, and a few of them have, but this is all that I've got left of the season, and that's hardly a lime size, so it did better last year, but it's got some new growth. Hoping that helps it next year. Okay, so we're gonna step back a little bit. Here's my peanut butter fruit, Ponderosa Lemon, and it's related to the acerola or Barbados Cherry. It has really nice ornamental leaves. They're kind of fuzzy, like Barbados Cherry leaves. Don't know if that's an irritant or not, those hairs, but it's also grown pretty quick. I bought it when it was here. Now these leaves have dropped off and it's pushed up really nicely. I've got honeydew. Thing is, I don't see any pests. There's no pests on this thing. It just appears, so I'm not sure where that's coming from. But I mean, as long as they're healthy, they're healthy. So right here, I've got my Pomegranate Seedling. It's probably 4 years old, and it's really healthy. Even with not too much light, it's growing massive stems. Not sure when this is gonna flower, but for now it's just a cool little thing. Over here's my lemon guava. This one I bought over the summer, towards the end of the year, and it started out here. This was all new. Same with these branches right here, all new. This one, so it really grew well over a little bit of time. So I'm hoping to get flowers in the near future, and just maybe fruit. Okay, we'll come back around here, down on this lower shelf. It's my starfruit seedling. Don't know what variety it is, but it's growing pretty well. It's got 2 stems, and then it goes into one main trunk, which is pretty thin considering it's a year old. It's gone through a lot of underwatering, and it's dropped a lot of its leaves, but it's growing. Okay, now over here's my Tamarind. Very neglected. It's got a little new growth there, but it is what it is. It'll grow back, but it's a hardy tree. Okay, so now we're gonna look at my Savannah Cherry. It's a black variety. Not sure exactly what kind, but the fruit is black. And this one has grown awesome. It started right here, and it's just gone boom. I'm not sure how to prune this thing. I want to make it a little less lanky, but for now I'm just gonna let it go. It's got lots of new growth, even in winter, on almost every branch. We got some new stems down here, over there, growth right here. Okay, so here's my Sapodilla. It's Silas Woods. It's dwarf, so dwarf basically means it takes a long time to grow, and Sapodillas already grow very slow. So I bought this over the summer as well. Have not seen it do anything, but it also has a little honeydew sap. I don't see any pests, so I'm not sure what's going on with that, but it's alive. It doesn't show it, but it's alive. Okay, here's my red Malaysian guava. It's really blown up this year, or I suppose last year, 2020. Beautiful foliage and beautiful stems, but it has a tendency to grow really lanky down here. That's unfortunate. And this stem right here is all from 1 year, and this is 2 years old, this little thing. So, and it just, every year it pushes up a new shoot, and the older one sort of dies away. I'm not sure if that's normal for guavas, but that's what mine does. And it did flower over the summer, beautiful purple flowers, so I mean, I just want fruit from it someday, and if it gives me fruit, I'm not complaining. Okay, right here's my mandarin orange. It's sad, but I've kind of lost motivation with it. It's it just bought it at Meyer, labeled orange, so I don't really have much interest in it. I have no idea of a variety. It's probably just something like a cutie variety, but it comes back every summer, so that'll be nice to see. Okay, down here I've got my cacao, my red cacao, cocoa bean, and it's grown surprisingly well for being inside, and I hope to see it grow up in the future. So up here we've got smaller plants. This is just a pineapple top. It's got a nice little red on there. I don't know if you can see that. A little ajuan and dragon fruit cuttings. But over here is my sort of important stuff. So this is my Eugenia calycina, or Savannah Cherry, and it's slow growing, but it has very interesting leaves for Eugenia. I haven't seen that. This Eugenia is related to this one, and you can tell, but this definitely looks a lot different. Okay, here's my red Jaboticaba, red hybrid Jaboticaba. It's got lots of new growth. All this flushed. Inside is zone 6 under plant lights, so I'm really happy with that. These burnt tips are just a sort of aesthetic thing. You don't really need to worry about them. They can be anything from pH to drought to temperature, but as long as you give it water and it grows healthy growth like that, it'll be alright. Right next door I've got my yellow Jaboticaba. This is a Merceria glazoviana. I've got 2 of them. This one is definitely healthier. Got a little stem here with a new leaf that I think I can sort of pop open. Those are always fun. Open up. This one's not doing as well. Looks like maybe a nutrient deficiency, but yeah, those are my yellow Jaboticaba. I've got my Moringa here, 1 Moringa, 2, and 3. These are just a superfood, so they don't really grow fruit. They grow pods, but everything about this tree is awesome. It grows super fast. It gives you a lot of nutrients. Here's my cherimoya seedling. I started over the summer, I believe, and it's fine. It's dwarfed, which I like. Unlike my last one. The last one I gave it away, but this one is dwarfed. Has nice little branches. I'm happy with that. Over here is my saba Jaboticaba. Last time I showed you guys this, it was teeny weeny. Now this doesn't look like much growth, but in terms of Jaboticaba, that's a lot. It's a 1 year old so far. Over here is my pretty rare Arania umbratica. It's also called wild Colombian cacao. It's got a lot of issues. I think it has a pest. I'm not sure what that is. If you can see, there we go. These little white things, I'm not sure. It's still pushing out little leaves, so I think once summer comes around, it should clear up. If not, I'll probably spray it down with some organic pesticide. Over here is a coffee. It's kind of sickly right now, but that's expected. Over the summer, I hope it grows a little fuller, but it definitely drops some leaves down here. And last but not least, I've got my jackfruit seedlings. They're twins, but this one is growing a little bit better. It's a little thicker trunk than that one. But they both have new growth. And something characteristic of jackfruit is that they grow leaves that sort of look like mulberry leaves when they're stressed. But looking at my leaves, they don't look like that, so that's always a good sign. And that is it, guys. Hope that this was informative, and I'll update later.